Welcome back to yet another new video of Learn Economia. Here in this video, we will be discussing the Nelson's theory of low-level equilibrium. So let's get started. The theory of low-level equilibrium trap is actually developed by Nelson. So his full name is R.R. Nelson, and this is basically with respect to underdeveloped economies. The theory states that when per capita income increases above the minimum specific level, what happens is that population tends to increase in that economy. But when the growth rate increases an upper physical limit as the per capita income increases, what happens is that growth starts declining. If you put in other words, or if you put in the words of Nelson, you can see that the malady of underdeveloped economies can be diagnosed as a stable equilibrium level of per capita income at or close to the subsistence requirements. So at this stable equilibrium level of per capita income, both the rate of investment and the rate of savings are low. And if the per capita income is increased above this specific level through saving and investment, this will increase the growth of population in the economy. And the increase in population growth as a result pushes down the per capita income to its stable level of equilibrium. As a result, the economy is caught in a process or a phenomena or a problem known as the low level equilibrium trap. So what can be done from what can be done to help the economy to come out of this trap? Here the rate of growth of income must be higher than the rate of increase in population growth. This is the only way out of the low level equilibrium trap. Now let's understand the conditions for trapping. So there are certain conditions which are specified by Nelson, and he has said that these conditions are mainly with respect to the arenas like a high correlation between the level of per capita income and the rate of population growth. Now low density to direct addition per capita income to increase per capita investment, scarcity of cultivated arable land, inefficient production methods, and cultural inertia and economic inertia. So Nelson, what he has done is that he has used a model with certain equations. Especially he has used three basic equations, one with respect to income determination, one with respect to population growth, and the other one with respect to the net capital formation. So let's understand the three equations in detail. Now coming to the first equation, the income determination equation. Here the income as per Nelson depends upon the capital stock of the economy, the size of population, and the level of technological knowledge. Here the capital consists of produced goods and arable land used in the production process. Here as per Nelson, those economies which are caught in the low level of equilibrium trap are marked by considerable stock. That means that existing inputs are not producing the maximum amount of output. So some stock is there. Okay. Now coming to the next equation, that is the equation with regard to population growth. Here as per Nelson, low per capita income can bring temporary changes in the rate of population growth, and this change is actually brought by the change in the death rate in the economy, and change in the death rate is caused by change in the level of per capita income. But when per capita income reaches to a certain specific level, this will have no effect upon the death rates in the economy. Now coming to the final and the third equation, that is the equation with regard to the net capital formation. Here the net investment consists of capital which are created out of savings, and capital can be created out of current income as well. So this is an alternative cost of consumption, and if that is unused land in the economy, then capital may be increased by putting land into cultivation. And the rate at which the additional units of land are cultivated is positively related to increase in population. Now, if you look at this diagram, you can understand this concept of low level equilibrium trap of Nelson very clearly, and this is actually a diagrammatic explanation. Here in this figure, you can see that the per capita income Y by P is expressed on the x-axis, and the rate of growth of population is measured along the y-axis. In this figure, the point S is considered to be the minimum specific level of per capita income, where the level of per capita income is equal to the growth curve of population. Also, in this particular point, both the per capita income and the population growth are same. And the population towards left of this particular point start decreases above the certain minimum specific level, the population increasing till it reaches the upper physical limit. Now coming to the figure, again you can see a point A. Actually there is a movement from A to A dash, and for some time population will grow with the increase in the real income, that is from A to A dash, and the growth of population will continue up to a point A dash, and after this it will start declining, and this decrease is mainly due to the rise in the per capita income level. And at this particular stage people will become very much conscious about their living standard, and they will try to adopt small family. So as a result, in order to take care of their standard of living, they will adopt a small family, and therefore the curve PP, that is which represents the population curve, and here this particular curve will show its implications with regard to or with in movement to the movement of per capita income. Now here if you look at the panel B of the figure, here x-axis you can do per capita income, and the y-axis here we measure the per capita investment. In this diagram, actually x denotes the level of income with 0 levels of saving. That means that all the income, the entire income you have is spent upon consumption, nothing is saved. And here there is a negative investment towards the left of x because savings are negative, you are not saving. And the per capita income rises above the 0 saving level as it moves towards the right of x. As a result, investment curve I rises and it has no upper physical limit. In the panel C, you can see that the level of per capita income is represented along the x-axis, and if you look at the y-axis, here population and total income are measured. For the sake of simplicity, it is assumed that minimum specific level of per capita income S is same as the case of 0 saving level of per capita income, and the point S in the diagram actually represents the point of low level of equilibrium trap, and it shows the intersection of population growth curve PP and the income growth curve YY, and this occurs at 0 rate of growth. This exhibits that the rate of growth in income equals the rate of growth in population growth. In low level equilibrium trap, which we discusses actually, in this particular case, in low level equilibrium trap, any small increase in per capita income is not able to sustain itself, or this cannot lead to any further increase in per capita income. In figure C or in figure 1 panel C, you can see a point L, and the rate of growth of population here is higher than the rate of growth of total income. As a result, per capita income will fall to the previous low level equilibrium level, that is OS, which is the point of stable equilibrium. All this happens towards the left of M because here the growth of population is greater than the rate of growth of total income. As a result, the economy will be caught in the low level of equilibrium situation, and as per Nelson, this trap will be stronger or more quickly the rate of population growth responds to given change in the per capita income, and more slowly the rate of growth in income responds to an increase in investment. And it is only possible when the level of per capita income is increased by a discontinuous jump beyond the level of per capita income. That is, there should be income that is more than SM. And to conclude, or in short, you can see that a country can hope to come out of this particular situation of low level of equilibrium trap because the rate of growth in the total income can exceed the rate of growth of population. Again, beyond point R, further action is required by active role of government to raise the level of income above the rate of growth of population. For example, if BM is taken as a 3%, then Nelson says that if in a particular country, for example, just take the example of a particular country, the country has to break the shackles of low level of equilibrium trap. For that, its growth or rate of per capita income must be higher than that its growth rate of population. If the growth rate of population is 3%, that means that the growth rate of per capita income must be more than 3%. Now coming to the factors which help in escaping from the low level of equilibrium trap, the person who has suggested this concept, that is Nelson, he himself has given certain factors, or he has identified certain factors which help us to escape from this low level of equilibrium trap. And he says that there should be favorable socio-political environment in the country, there should be capital and income in an enhanced position by obtaining funds from abroad or international institutions. There can be improved techniques used to utilize existing resources properly, and the requested method should be adopted to change the distribution of income. There should be changes in social structure, there should be solid investment program introduced by the government. Also there can be efforts which increase the production with the modern and latest techniques or technologies of production. So with that we can conclude this topic or theme of low level of equilibrium trap. We can see that if the population growth rate or if the growth of income, if it is increased more than the rate of growth of population, then it is an escape route to low level of equilibrium trap, or we can escape from the problem of low level of equilibrium trap. And once this is achieved, the continuous growth process will take place without any further government action which is intended to promote growth, because this is not an endless process, because government intervention is required, but until a high level of per capita income is attained, this is not required. So that's all for today's session. Thank you for watching this channel, this particular video. Please like, share and subscribe this channel. I will be back very soon with new and interesting topics in the arena of economics. And once again, thank you.